Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of an old European town, during the final days of the year, when snow lay like a soft blanket across every rooftop, there lived a little girl named Annie. She was only 10 years old, yet she wandered the snowy streets each day, selling matchsticks in hopes of earning a few small coins to bring home to her father. The bitter winter wind whistled through the narrow alleys. Grown-ups hurried past, their thick scarves wrapped tightly around their necks, never noticing the tiny girl with the worn-out shoes that had long since fallen apart. It was the night of New Year's Eve. Warm golden light spilled from the windows of cheerful homes, and the scent of freshly baked pastries drifted into the street like an invitation. Deep within her heart, Annie wished she could step into one of those houses, sit by a crackling fire, and enjoy a warm meal just like any other child. But her father waited in their cold little room at the far end of the street. And if Annie returned without selling any matches, she would surely be scolded. So, with her hands numb from the cold, she lifted her trembling voice and whispered, "Matches for sale, new matches, only a few coins." Yet the people around her were too busy with their own celebrations. No one stopped. The night grew colder still. Snowflakes settled upon Annie's hair and the fragile shoulders of her thin coat. Her legs shook inside her torn shoes. Unable to endure the cold any longer, she slipped into the small space between two houses, where the wind was gentler, and sat down. She stared at the unopened box of matches, hesitating. She dared not strike. One each match meant money. Yet warmth was something her little heart longed for dearly. At last, she gathered her courage and struck the first match. A tiny flame bloomed like a golden flower in the darkness. In its shimmering glow, Annie imagined herself sitting before a grand iron stove, its logs crackling warmly as the heat wrapped tenderly around her. She extended her frozen hands toward it, as though she might truly touch the dancing flame. But in an instant, the light vanished, and the stove disappeared, as if it had never been. Still trembling from the cold, Annie struck another match. This time, the light revealed a cozy room where a feast lay upon the table. Golden roasted chicken, steaming soup, and warm, newly baked bread. Laughter echoed faintly, the sound of a joyful family gathered together. A longing sparkled in Annie's eyes, an ache she had never spoken aloud. But as a single tear rolled down her cheek, the match flickered and died. The feast, the laughter, the warmth, all faded into the winter night. Terrified of the darkness pressing around her, Annie lit a third match. In the gentle glow, a splendid Christmas tree appeared, its branches adorned with shimmering ornaments and twinkling candles. Children danced in circles around it, their laughter rising like music through the warm room. Annie reached out to touch one shining glass ornament. But when the flame vanished, the lights of the tree rose into the sky like tiny stars fleeing into the night. By now, Annie trembled violently, her lips pale and cold. In desperate longing, she struck several matches at once, their light blooming brightly around her. And from within that trembling glow emerged a familiar figure, an elderly woman with a gentle smile and hands as soft as a lullaby. It was her grandmother, the only person who had ever truly loved and cherished her. "My sweet Annie," her grandmother whispered warmly, "come with me, little one, to a place where there is no cold, no hunger, and no sorrow." Fearing that the light might fade and her grandmother would vanish once more, Annie struck every remaining match, clinging to the warmth and the love she had so long missed. The flames rose brighter than ever, surrounding them in golden radiance. In that beautiful, magical moment, her grandmother gathered her into her arms and lifted her gently upward through the falling snow, away from the cold world below. When dawn broke on the first morning of the new year, townspeople discovered a little girl seated peacefully against the wall. A faint smile rested on her lips, and her cheeks glowed softly, as though touched by the warmth of a dream. Beside her lay the burnt-out matchsticks. They shook their heads with sorrow, but none of them knew that in her final moments, little Annie had found her beloved grandmother and the warmth she had been denied all her life. And somewhere far beyond the world's cold reach, in a place without hunger or loneliness, Annie walked hand in hand with her grandmother, her smile shining like the gentle flames of the magical matches that had carried her home.